Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today is another day of the 0 to Gold Cap Challenge. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. So today we are going to be going over what we've been doing for the last few days, and that is we have been farming up in Farrak. Now the things of note that I've actually gotten a hold of through this, let's just go into our little area where we've actually farmed up Farrak, and that is 4 hours worth of Farrak farming. Now I've gotten rid of all the low-end transmog items that we could sell on the auction house, but I really don't want to focus on low-end transmog selling as I did that one last year, and yeah, it's still a good method, but you have to do all the time, have like thousands upon thousands upon thousands, like literally you have to like double up what you usually would go for. So usually with transmog items in general, you're usually going to get regular income on around about 1,000 items plus to 1,000 to 2,000 items, but whereas with low transmog items you're going to need around about 4,000. Yeah, you need a lot of low end, and I didn't want to focus on this one this year. We're going for the high end stuff, so that's why we farmed Farrak for 4 hours. That totals into 40 runs for the entire farming session, and in a minute we'll be going over how I actually farm it, because I know it's a little bit different than everyone else near the end of it. But aside from that, let's just go over what we got hold of, and that is the medium end stuff. So that's like the Griffin Mail Greaves, Glorious Shield of the Aurora, and the Scorpish Breastplate. All these ones are like roughly around about 300 to 600 gold worth of items. Obviously we got the Impenetrable Leg Guards of the Aurora, 1043. We have the Bone Link Helmet. We have the Blood Woven stuff, and we actually also have a Lofty belt that actually dropped. It used to be that Lofty gear would go for like thousands upon thousands of gold, but now it's around about 300 gold on my realm. But the region market value average is around about 4,500. The other things of note is the Sunscale Gauntlets, that's 675. You have the Jade Greaves we got a hold of. We have the Imposing Vest and the Blood Forged Leg Plates, along with the Brutish Breastplate. These ones are all medium end transmog items that I personally do like, and let's just grab those ones into our bag because we're going to do an entire valuation total for everything moving forward. So that being the case, let's just grab all of these, and overall we have 3,159 Mage Weave cloth. That, yeah, you get a lot of Mage Weave cloth just by doing Farrak. So if you are wanting to do something to do with enchanting or tailoring, good place to go for getting high-end stuff. But we also got ourselves a lovely 6 Star Rubies. They're about 3 gold a piece. And the Aquamarines are 2 gold a piece. We got 9 of those. We also got a load of low-end different types of recipes. I was hoping for some high-end ones, but that's something if you were going to do multiple runs of things like Sunwell Plateau for just clearing the trash and that. Farrak's mainly just high-ticket items, which we'll be getting into in a second. But we got a load of recipes. They're all averaging around about 1 gold, 35, and 98, 10, 80, 129, 20 gold. So they're not overly worth that much, but they're recipes that we can then sell on the auction house. Now we're into the BOEs now for this, and what we actually got was 1 Gut Wrencher, which is 29 gold. It's really bad on an RP realm because Farrak's highly farmed, and it's only really the high ticket items that will sell on my Hypop server. So these ones are just medium end transmog items, or even low end judging by the gold values, but I've kept them anyway regardless because their sell rates are pretty damn awesome. We have the Bloodletter Scalpel, that's 97. We also have Eye Gouger. We have 2 of those we got in our runs, and that was 139 gold each. And we also have the Minotaur, and that is 113, plus a Runed Ring, which actually does sell. I was very surprised on that one, but the Runed Ring sells as well. And we have the Black Metal Cape. This one's probably the highest BOE blue for me on my realm, and that is 599 gold. Obviously the BOE blues from Farrak aren't worth an awful lot. You would have to double check it in WorthIt to see if it's actually worth it for you to go farm these BOEs. Now the Troll Protector is a shield. We actually got hold of that. That's usually around about 250 gold for us. And the Dark's Fire Epaulet, which is a solder piece, which is 15 gold. Really bad. But the high ticket item out of 4 hours of farming this is the Robes of Insight. It is currently worth a min buyout of 37,999 gold. The market value is 43,959 gold, and the region market value averages 22,829 gold. So overall, pretty damn happy with that. And yeah, overall, this is a pretty damn good haul for the 4 hours, because we've got an array of different types of things we can sell on the auction house, plus this one item. I was really going in here mainly for the glorious leg plates. Alas, they did not drop because they are the glorious leg plates, and that's why they cost so much. But I'm quite happy with a Robe of Insight. Now, I currently love transmog farming, and I have done for quite a long time, and that's because I don't know what I'm going to get for my initial farms. Sometimes you can make a massive win, and sometimes you don't. So that being the case, let's just go into WorthIt, and we can go into our transmog section. Now, a quick little run through when you're going through the transmog sections for this. You have to take the WorthIt transmog section into account. So when you're evaluating this, I would highly recommend using the historical value as opposed to like the min buyout or the DB market to give you a better average overall, as min buyouts will do it if someone's posted at like 1 billion gold, it can fudge the numbers. So if you are going to check this out for all of the classic or vanilla dungeons, then bear in mind that I would highly recommend you use the historical value. I am planning on getting something implemented specifically for the transmog section for pricing sources. So it will come here in this pricing source here, and it will say transmog section, and then it will by default have it in the historical value, and then you can change it, because I think that would be kind of helpful for everyone. But aside from that, we can go all the way over to the Farrak, and we can have a look at what are the things that you can get. Now, at the moment, it will tell us a gold per hour of 9,948 on average gold per hour in transmog items, and the glorious leg plates are worth 77,000. The black metal cape, obviously we have that. We didn't have the spell shock leggings. There's loads of things that we didn't get, but there's a lot of things that we did get on this, and it will just tell us all the items of note. Obviously we have a load of items of note on this, and judging by what I've seen so far, I'm considering doing something along the lines of the same. And now it is just a time of just flying over to our mailbox and sending this all the way over to Giblet. Now, judging by this, I used to do transmog really quite a lot, and I used to make a lot of gold with transmog, but it's only really the high ticket items that really do sell at this moment in time. In transmog in general, at this moment in time, it's not really selling as much as it used to, so I would highly recommend just going for the high ticket items instead of the low end gear. You can obviously make a little bit of gold with the low end gear all the time, but it's nothing too major. You're better off doing a herb farm or something when it comes to that. It's only really if you want to take the chance on getting a high ticket item. We've sent those over to Giblet, and let's run over to Farrak so we can do this run through. But aside from this, I'm pretty damn happy on the way things are going thus far. We've made quite a considerable amount of gold. It came to a valuation of around about 70,000 gold, so really not overly too bad for 4 hours worth of farming. It is a little bit less than what I was anticipating, but at the end of the day, WorthIt said it was going to be around about 40,000 if I just lowballed it, so can't really complain there. But let's just do this run through, and we will see how I do Farrak. So what I do is I run in here. I'm not going to do this perfectly, but I will run in here, gather up all of the mobs, and I just follow my way around and just gather up every single one of these guys. Now, these Sand Fury guys, you want to gather up as many as you can when you're actually farming Farrak. I'm pretty certain a lot of you know how to farm it, but I'm going through this little walkthrough right now just to make sure that if people do not know how to farm Farrak, it's just a lot easier in order to show you guys instead of just saying, just do this. So, yeah, you can like follow along if you wanted. But coming to the end of the actual run where you actually gather up all of these guys, I actually do skip a few things because I find it to be kind of tedious and it doesn't really add up the return, so to speak. It's mainly these Sand Fury guys that I really spend the most time on farming up stuff. So these guys here, if you do not literally get hold of their aggro by literally just stopping and going back side to side, they will not attack you, and it's kind of annoying having to double back to grab hold of them. You physically have to, like, even then I ran right in front of them and they didn't even pull. It is really irritating when that happens. You can obviously kill them just as you go around, but I find that to be kind of annoying and very tedious in order to do. And I don't find the Transmill farm to be that fun if I do it that method by just killing pack after pack and doing that. I would much rather gather up them all in one go and burn them down. So I am willing to just having to double back every now and then if I mess up on the pull. But I use my Soothe ability in order to grab those packs of mobs, because with these guys, they will all run over this little mound over here, and then they will gather up all of the guys we've just missed. So I'm not going to lose out. Now, opening up the graves is a great way in order to gain extra loot. I only grab the ones on the left-hand side, due to the fact that I really can't be bothered with opening up every single one for that much of an uptick. That is one thing I do. With these guys, you're going to have to kill them pretty fast because they have a hex ability, some of them, the Witch Doctors, and they will turn you into a frog, and it is very irritating if you do get caught out with this. Now, obviously, the best class to run this on is a Druid, and yeah, pretty much. So we've just finished our run, and what we've actually managed to get a hold of is 71 more moon cloth, well, mage reef cloth. We have another recipe that is greater stamina, so that's pretty cool. The jade fire belt, oh man, I wish 150 gold for that, but it's jade, so I'm going to sell it regardless. And the grand shoulders of fire flash, and I will sell those. So that being the case, not overly too much. If you've done that, we'll just destroy all of these things in here. And then just delete that. I know I could have ended it, but it's not the point. And then we'll just do a bag value. It was 1,000 gold for that one run. So obviously, what WorthIt's telling me, about 9,948. We've done one run out of 10. It was about 1,051 gold. So obviously, it's going to be something along those lines. But that being the case, this is where I will use my Dreamwalk ability to Dreamwalk out, and then press Dreamwalk once again to jump back outside of the instance. I don't gather up any more of the mobs. I know you can. I know a few people prefer to do that. I tend to not prefer to do that because I can't be bothered. That is literally the bottom line. I can't be bothered to gather up any of the other little packs. I'd rather gather up the big pack and then do that. But aside from that, we'll then press Dreamwalk back after resetting the instance, and it will take us out just outside of the instance of Farrak, and then all I have to do is run back in again once I've reset. So that being the case, guys, let's just jump over to the gold for the day. And the gold for the day is a healthy 17,317 gold. That's pretty okay. We sold a Glyph of Felt Imp, We have a grotesque sale for 950 gold. The felt imp one was 1,376. I forgot to mention that. We sold some nether dragon scales, which was 31 of those for 5,877. Plus, we also sold 1,135 knot hide leather for 3,277 gold. We could have reset the market with that amount of knot hide leather because that isn't farmed all that much. But I should have really thought about that. But other than that, guys, the Greater Flask of Vaster Horizons, 3 of those for 1,222 gold. And that's basically all the things of note. So let's just gather up all of these sales overall, bringing us in a nice amount of gold for the day. Now, obviously, the gold for the day has actually dropped quite substantially, but we're going to be boosting that up as and when we do more farms. And the next farm that I'll probably be doing on the lines of just general farming is probably going to be a profession-based one. That is a gathering one. And then we'll jump into a transmog. So what we're going to do now, the plan is we're going to be doing a herb mining, skinning, basically a gathering profession farm for a few hours, and then we're going to be jumping in and doing another transmog farm for that. So then we're building up a nice supply of good transmog items as well as selling the materials. That is the plan moving forward. And other than that, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say for the day. Take it easy, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow.